Hey, Edible Lab here. Just doing a sort of more of a full garden tour here at the sort of, I would call almost about the end of true summer in Sydney, Australia. It's about the end of March at the moment. I would say still plenty of warm weather. We've had a lot of rain this week, but yeah, can definitely see like the end of summer coming in the next few weeks. Um, Getting more into an autumn-like season, but let's go and just I'll show off. I've got a bunch of new trees. A lot of stuff's made some progress since I last took a video, so this will be my first time sort of showing a bit of everything. Here I've got the seedling mangoes. These ones have grown quite a bit from last time. This one's the original one from both of these are about a year old now. I think one of them is a KP seedling, one of them is from R2E2. I don't know which one because I didn't properly label them. This one's shown some impressive growth. This one is only from like December. It's from a Honey Gold, but it's growing really well. Honey Gold is kind of more newer Australian mango variety, and I really like it. I think it tastes much better than Kensington Pride, although I like Kensington Pride as well. Soursop has not stopped growing the whole of summer. I think I am going to try and put in some effort to protect it over winter. I would really like to keep it and have it not either die or get horribly set back, but it's doing really well. It's definitely at least, I don't know, doubled in size. It's really bushed out as well. Like you can see it's got these branches down here. It's grown a real considerable amount, and I only got it, I guess about almost 4 months ago now. So Wampy, I showed this in my other video. This is the Yeampei, I believe. Yep, Yeampei grafted tree. You can see the graft there. It's doing really well. Well, it took a while to do anything at first, and then it put out a huge amount of growth. And then recently had a bit of a disaster where there's actually a big tree fern here. And so one of the fronds fell from all the rain, and it landed directly on top of it and broke off what was going to be the new growth. But it'll come back. It's doing fine. That's part of what broke off. The star apple has really come back now. Well, I say that, but it's we're already at the end of summer now, so kind of bushed out a bit after losing all its leaves and everything. So I think I'm going to try and give this some protection over winter, just because if it gets set back again, I'm worried it won't do anything at all, or it might die, because a lot of this growth has not fully hardened off. It hasn't turned into hard wood yet, so I'm a little worried that if it gets a bit too cold for it, not that it gets incredibly cold here, but it might not like that. But I suppose it survived last winter, so maybe it'll be fine. Rose apple, really slow so far, hasn't done too much. Only put on one flush, and then half of it got eaten before the leaves fully hardened off. I didn't even see what ate it, but I imagine some type of caterpillar, but I'd been checking the leaves every day and never saw what was eating it. But yeah, it's the only leaf that's sort of fully, only two of them are basically fully intact. Anyway, this is about to flower. This is a Japanese rock lily. Kind of looks like an orchid. It's also called a poor man's orchid. Always puts on a load of flowers around this time of year. It's quite sensitive to the sun, so got it here in a largely shaded position, but you can see it's got so many flower buds, and it's like a bulb. So I've had this for about 2 years, and last year it had an impressive number of flowers. It looks like it might flower even more this year. You can just see it's absolutely covered. Chestnut seedling that I grew from seed myself. Got a bit cooked by the sun in early summer. Has not, put on some leaves since, but it hasn't really done anything, so we'll see what happens. It's still alive. Large Monstera I got recently. Traded some loquat seedlings for this. I'm thinking I'll probably try and propagate it. So a type of fuchsia that creates sort of a lot of berries. I mean, fuchsias do make an edible berry-like fruit. We have another fuchsia that I've eaten the fruit from. This one has flowered and fruited. Fruits never got fully ripe though. This was doing really well. It was like, I don't know, maybe down to like there initially when we got it, and that was maybe June, and it grew like crazy until summer, when this position is basically in full sun, full afternoon sun, and it just got destroyed again and again. So all the leaves would get burnt and drop, it would flush out again, and the same thing would happen again and again. But it will be fine now that the sun's not as strong as before. It's flushing back out, and I think it'll be fine, and I expect it to grow even more. I didn't realize that this is some hybrid plant breeders' rights variety, but one of the species that it's a hybrid of apparently turns into a small tree, and I did not realize that until it's now grown this much in less than a year. Pomegranate is losing its leaves. Don't know if that's because of the cold or just because it doesn't like the rain either. All the new growth seems to die. I don't really know. I don't even know what variety this is. The label had come off. I have a feeling it's potentially Ben Hur, but I don't know for sure. It only produced one little fruit this year, which turned out to be a runt. And by the time it was ripe, it had sort of rotted inside, so it was not edible. A little blueberry in there. Produced a handful of blueberries. It's still very young, sort of need to do something a bit better with that. It's a Sunshine Blue. It's a low chill variety. It's a wasabi plant that I don't think many people are growing wasabi in general in Australia, and probably not many in Sydney either. This is around 3-4 years old. It flowered actually for the first time ever this summer, early in summer. And it probably needs to get split up and repotted, because if you can see, there's a couple roots in there. It's got 1, 2, and 3, and it might even be getting a 4th. I'm not 100% sure, but they're a weird plant. Well, not weird, they are a fussy plant. They need like basically full shade. They don't like it when it's too hot. They don't like it when it's too cold. So in summer it just constantly looks really bad, but then once you get to probably anywhere from autumn, winter, spring, it looks great and it flushes out loads of growth. And then in summer it gets absolutely cooked, and the leaves, even here it's getting basically no sun, but still the leaves burn. But the new leaves look good. You can eat the leaves as well. And eventually I would like to try the roots now that I definitely know it's a mature plant now that it's flowering. That's supposed to be the time that you harvest it. Little cha-cha seedling there, I've got plenty more of those. Avocado seedling that I'll probably graft onto at some point, try to graft onto it. This is a native currant. It's an Australian native plant. It did flower and make some fruit, but it all dropped off. It's too small and maybe didn't get enough water. I think this is, it's more sort of native to rainforest areas around like northern New South Wales, Queensland. It's got nice new growth. It's meant to turn into like a small tree, but we'll see what happens with that. So moving around though, we've got more stuff here. This is I believe it's an imperial mandarin. It flowered a lot, set lots of fruitlets, got rid of all of them. I want it to grow bigger. You can see the disease is pretty rampant on the citrus. We had the leaf miner, the scale, the stink bugs. Not so much stink bugs on this, but the leaf miner. But it sort of comes through. I have sprayed them a little bit with pyrethrum, but this one's a bergamot orange, related, I guess, most closely to the lemon. It's more used in like essential oil and perfume. And maybe the fruit I don't know, I've never tasted the fruit. I'll be interested to see what it does taste like. But I quite like the smell. Like neroli oil is made from the leaves as well, or the peel. That's a Nagami kumquat. It has got 2 fruit on it around the other side. We see one, yeah, just down there. So I'm just leaving it on just purely because I want to try the fruit, not because I think you should leave it on. But it's doing well. It's a loquat seedling I grew myself from our tree. This one is the largest one I have, and as you can see, it's really kicking off this summer. It's only about just over a year old. Got some jackfruit seeds that I from a store-bought fruit here in a bit of shade. Yeah, I only had jackfruit for the first time recently. Bought one from the shop and really liked it. It was a nice crunchy, like bubblegum type flavor. It's very good. So I grew those and basically all sprouted. We'll see how those go. This is from well, just some seeds I planted. They're from, as you can see, Davidsonia jerseyana, or one of the species of Davidson's plum. I actually have one, which makes fruit, and so this is from fruit from those seeds from those fruit. I think these ones I just did today, but I have some more, and it looks like they maybe are producing roots and might sprout. Yellow cherry guava. I'm trying to air layer it, see how that goes, just giving it a go. It's my first time doing it, so I tried a couple. Might be a bit late to do it. I've done it, yeah, basically like in the last week, so unsure if anything will happen with that, but we'll see. I think this was a marcotte, probably. Could be grown from a cutting, but I think it's a marcotte. You can see it's got some flowers on it. I already had the fruit, a couple fruit off it. I let it produce a couple fruit just because I wanted to try it. I liked it. I prefer a regular guava, but the seeds, so many seeds as well. But it was nice, and you can see it's grown well. Anyway, coming around, this is another native plant. It's the Australian black apple. It's actually in the Sapote family, so it's related to like star apple, canistel, abiu, but it's Australian native. It's also native to the Sydney area, and this thing is a champion as well. I bought it as a fairly small seedling from Bunnings, and it's grown up real fast. I mean, this isn't even a year old, and it's growing really well, and it just takes the full sun like an absolute beast. I had it in the shade for a while and it wasn't doing well. It wasn't really growing that much, and I put it back in the sun and it's just taken off yet again. So it's already like doubled in size over summer. And maybe in another, I don't know, 2 years or so, I might be hoping to try the fruit off this. Ice cream bean. Again, this grows, another tree that just grows ridiculously fast. Doesn't mind being in full sun. Gets a bit burnt, but not too bad. More loquat seedlings. Variegated calamansi or calamondon. Nice fruit. Extremely sour, but nice. I like sour stuff a lot, so I like sour fruits. Some pineapples I've just started from the top. They're all looking quite good. A few other seeds, mango seeds. Sort of put some also got Adamoya seeds. I don't think these will do anything, but I've got them there anyway. Yeah, I've just got like cling wrap over the top just to act like a sort of mini greenhouse and help them germinate a bit faster with the humidity. More loquats, midgeonberry, which I got from the Australian Botanic Gardens at Mount Annan. It was selling it for a really cheap price. It was like $6, so I was like, why not? It's another in the myrtle family as well. It flowered quite a bit, but it didn't fruit. But it's a little bit small, so can hope that maybe next year we'll get some fruit. Gumby, it's another native plant. I don't It does make a fruit, which I think is used in like bush medicine, but I don't think it's necessarily recommended that you eat it raw. Coming around, got some more stuff here. Got the Brazilian guava, which is flowered. I bought this from Daly's, and it's a seedling, but it already flowered and it's set to fruit, so I'm gonna leave it on and just see if they mature. I'd like to try the fruit. The leaves also get eaten by I don't know what. I think it might be ants, but the new growth keeps on getting eaten. But the new growth's very nice, kind of velvety. Yeah, and again, this plant just doesn't care about the sun. It's completely fine in full sun. Yeah, just got some bit of veggies there. It's a bit all over the place. A lot of basil, artichoke from earlier, some Thai basil, a lot of native violets, sort of using as a bit of a ground cover. This area's a bit of a mess, but some papaya seeds I just shoved in here. They're growing up fine. This one's they're only a few months old, but they're getting going. And then we'll go to the back area now. All right, so back here it's a bit more shaded as well. And this area, yeah, gets a bit of afternoon sun, but also morning sun. So I've got a lot more plants here. It's a wax jambu I bought a couple months ago. Again, I think it's a marcotte as well, or an air layer. Could be a cutting, I'm not sure. I've tried to take cuttings of it, which I'll show. It's grown pretty fast, hasn't done anything for a little while, so I'm wondering sort of what's happening, but it looks healthy. It's healthy. The leaves also get sort of eaten. I had it in more sun before. I don't know if it wants more sun or not, but when I had it in the sun it got burnt a bit. This is burdock root. Often they use in like Japanese cooking, and I guess in Southeast Asia as well. So going to be harvesting that soon. Kiwi berry. I bought this. Is the Issei variety, the one that's like the only one I think that's self-fertile. It looks horrible. I bought it after I initially bought it. I've had it in full sun. It got cooked and it sort of has never recovered. So supposedly this is also a low chill variety. It only needs like 150 chill hours, so it's meant to be able to be grown in the subtropics as well, but I think it just needs a very protected position. It doesn't like the sun, at least maybe when it's young, and I think it also needs better drainage. Got a few other things here: mulberry cutting, some hibiscus cuttings, some wattles I grew from seed, geranium cuttings. Eucalyptus unfortunately died. Some dragon fruit cuttings that I got locally, but they're not looking too good, so we'll see what happens with them. I think it just was too wet at the moment. White sapote. This is the Kampong variety. I kind of broke up the root ball on accident when I planted it, and it sort of has not done much yet. It still is yet to like push out this growth. It's had this growth it's looking pretty blurry, but it's had this growth on it for so long and it just hasn't done anything. Anyway, I'm hoping it does something. I'm hoping it recovers, but it looks green. It looks okay. Acerola, Barbados cherry. This is one of the first plants I bought, actually. It's sort of I had it for about a year almost, and it's flowered a few times. It's a cutting, Florida Sweet, but I bought from Daly's, and it's grown pretty well. Didn't really do anything over the winter, but it's grown a considerable amount. Like this whole branch here, that's maybe like, yeah, all the way from the bottom up to here, grew just over the summer. It's grown a considerable amount and flowered around 3 times, but hasn't set a fruit. But that's okay, it's still early days for that. The Grimmel, large leaf Jaboticaba, hadn't done much, but put on this nice new growth after all the rain we had. Cool colour, but it's doing alright. This is a tamarind I got from someone selling plants in Sydney, and I thought this was going to die. I didn't sort of take enough care of it during winter, and it lost all its leaves, but it came back pretty quick in the spring, and it has just grown and grown and grown. This is about where it was in winter, and it grew all of that, and then it also grew most of this as well. So you can see it's very fast growing. I have a feeling this will do very well in Sydney. I hope that it eventually makes fruit as well. I think that's the variety name, but don't know if that is a sweet or sour type of tamarind. These are some Pitanga or Suriname cherries that I got from someone on the Sydney Fruit Gardening group. I traded some Pitomba seedlings I had for these. He was very generous to give me so many. I'm very happy. I'm hoping that I also got to try the fruit. He had a fruiting tree, and with the red variety, which I heard was not as good as the black one, but I really liked the fruit. It's got that nice sourness, but also nice sweetness and a bit of a funky flavour, but it wasn't an issue for me at all. It kind of tasted a bit like mango. I really liked it. Red hybrid Jaboticaba, kind of a small seedling plant. It's again put on a bunch of new growth after all the rain. So that's doing okay. The Costada or Phatrantha Jaboticaba. This one's doing not the greatest. I think it might want less sun. I'm not quite sure. These are all also not in the best. They're in acidic potting mix, but it's not the best. I'm really looking to make my own potting mix soon and start using that. Just a better draining mix with like perlite and sand. So far I've only used store-bought potting mix, but that's looking okay. Down here we've got some feijoas that I've grown from seed that I haven't really taken much care of, but they're okay. This is one of the Pitomba, Eugenia, I don't remember the name, but Pitomba seedling, quite small as you can see. This is a Coolamon, or it's Syzygium morii. It's another Australian native plant related to like lily pilly, wax jambu, rose apple. It's in the same genus. I've just got recently as well. It's like a tube stock. It's growing slowly, but I know it will grow well and fruit in Sydney. At the Botanic Gardens here, there's a very large tree that I got to see recently, and I tasted some of the fruit from it. It's actually quite an interesting fruit. Not sweet at all, but tasted a little bit like a green apple. But much better than some of the other native Syzygium in Australia, like your lily pilly. Tasted quite different, and I preferred it. A very sort of watery taste. Rollinia seedling. That leaf got a bit eaten, but it's growing well, going strong. I'm not sure if I need to protect this or not over the winter. The soursop definitely will be getting protected, but I think Rollinia should be okay. Another recent addition, a grafted Sabra Jaboticaba. I just wanted to get a grafted plant, and this is from Daly's. They recently started selling grafted ones as well. I already had a red hybrid, so I decided not to get a grafted red hybrid. Red hybrid fruits fast anyway, but I didn't want to wait 10 years to get fruit off a Sabra. So I got a grafted one, and it's doing okay so far. It's still sort of settling in. It's another jackfruit. This is a seedling of the Galaxy variety. As you can see, it's also doing okay. Abiu that I got from Ben, Sydney Fruit Gardening. It's doing pretty well as well. And I have another one which I'll show. This is another Puteria though. It's a Canistel. This one I got the same time as the Acerola. One of the first tropicals I bought. One of the first trees I bought from Daly's. It again didn't do too much over the winter, but it's put on a few flushes of growth, like a good amount of growth, all from there onwards. So good solid maybe 50 centimeters there, and it's branched out a little bit as well, but it's looking good too. Another Suriname cherry, another chestnut seedling that looks really bad, some loquat seedlings, longan that I grew from seed, extremely slow, not doing anything, mango seedlings. I think one of these is an R2E2, one of them is also honey gold, another Coolerman. This is a Jamun or Java plum. This is a GM Cumini that I bought from Dailies recently. This is a cutting. I did not want to buy a seedling, as apparently they can take forever to fruit from seed, but it's doing well. This is a nectarine I grew from seed from, I didn't show it, but back there we have a 15-year-old gold mine nectarine. It's a white-fleshed freestone variety, really nice, kind of low chill, so it fruits well here where I am, which is not far from the coast, which is get a lot less chill than like Western Sydney. Probably only like max 400 hours, I'd say. Another chestnut seedling, bunch of citrus seedlings like Makrut lime from calamansi, yuzu. This is some chilies. Nope, these are pistachio that I recently grew from seed. Found some fresh pistachios and they all germinated quite well. These are plums I grew from seed ages ago. They're not really doing well, probably because they're from higher chill plum varieties that are not suited to Sydney, not suited to our climate. More Suriname cherry, avocado seeds I'm going to grow out for rootstock, some chili seedlings, avocado seedling, bunch more temperate fruit seedlings. These are pears, apples, apricot. I just like growing stuff from seed just for the fun of it. Bunch of coffee seedlings, loads of coffee seedlings. These are from this summer, but I have some that are maybe about a year old. One of them's quite large. More mango seedlings, more jackfruit. This is one of my oldest citrus seedlings. I think this is from a lime. It's quite big now, compared to the others at least. Yellow Jaboticaba, also got this from the same guy I got the Pitanga from from the Sydney Fruit Gardening Group. This is the other Abiyu I got from Ben at Sydney Fruit Gardening. And funny thing, something came up recently is this little seedling, which looks like some type of Garcinia. Because it grew up, and I've grown achachas from seed, so it grew up exactly like an achacha, but the leaves are a bit small, so I'm not really sure what it actually is. Whether it's like an achacha or maybe like a lemon drop mangosteen. I also got a lemon drop mangosteen from him, and it looks quite good as well. Another Pitomba, more Coolerman. Orange Grimachama, which has been very slow. This is an Atamoya I grew from seed. We got more achachas from this year coming up. Coffee. And then this is Marang, or Artocarpus odoratissimus. Really tropical plant. Again, I got the seeds from someone very kind on the Sydney Fruit Gardening Group. They've been quite slow, and some of them sort of got a bit wet and then rotted, but quite a lot of them are alive, and I think I like them enough that I'm going to try and protect them and keep them alive over winter and see how we can progress them. I don't know if Marang would ever, if I was able to foster it until it got more mature, whether it would survive in Sydney or not, but we'll have to see. Some more seedlings back there, like nectarine again, more achacha, more mango, more apricot and pistachio again. These have got to come out of here probably. I just have a lot of the tropicals here for the humidity. The Grimachama is definitely liking that more. It was outside of here before and didn't like it as much. Poshti, very, very fast growing. I think I'm going to try and protect this one as well. I mean, now recently I've seen that someone was growing this in Sydney. I saw from Bilal's video that someone was growing Poshti in Sydney, but it looked like it died back. But this is, I love the leaves. It's a very nice tree, really ornamental and quite fast growing as well. Just have to see how it goes. It's my starfruit, new grafted carry. It's putting out a bunch of new growth. I just sort of had not neglected, but it was getting hammered by the wind and stuff, so I brought it in here. It's loved it and put out a bunch of new growth. Some random stuff in here, guava seedlings, avocados that I'm trying to graft. These are seedlings I grew and I'm trying to graft onto them. Some more hibiscus cuttings, some wax jambu cuttings, coffee seedlings. These are the ones that are a year old. This is my largest one. It's starting to get going now. More cha-cha seedlings. This is one of my biggest ones. More grafting attempts on avocado. Lakucha, which is not looking the best. I think because it's quite young, it's a seedling, I think they really hate sun. And so I've just got it in here where it's getting not much sun, it's more humid, and it's sort of bounced back a little bit. It's doing okay, but it's going to lose this leaf too. Anyway, it's going okay. It's pushing out a new leaf, and yeah, we'll see if it survives or not. Some more citrus seedlings in there. But that's basically it. I got some more other seedlings, like more citrus, apricot, avocado, quaimuck. Just fairly slow-ish growing, but it's plodding along. It's very tall. This I'd like to put in the ground somewhere at some point, but I do want to try and prune it to keep it smaller. It's just that all the branches and leaves are higher up on it. Some other random seedlings, finger lime. This is pink ice. Did get a few fruit off it that were on it when I bought it, and I just decided to leave them on. It's not looking the greatest. I think these just need better drainage. Then, what else? There's a few more things. Avocado seedling. Just I grew in the ground for fun. Stuff here, another lily pilly that's never flowered or fruited. This is the Davidson plum I got those seeds from. As you can see, really cool looking foliage. And this is, would you believe it, about 10 years old in the ground. It's got like suckers there too, but it's only about 6 foot tall, around as tall as me. Yeah, it's barely 6 foot tall, in a very shaded spot, but they need the shade because they're from rainforest plant, and it does fruit. The past 2 years I think we've gotten fruit, and this year it fruited. We got 2 crops actually. Got a very large crop in December, January, and then smaller crop just passed. Got a few fruit off it, and the seeds are from then. If I'd known that I could grow the seeds and it would maybe work back then, I would have been able to plant a lot more, but a lot of the birds just sort of pecked one hole in them before they were properly ripe. Large loquat tree, it's just flowered. This one's massive, it's out of control, needs to get pruned, but sort of leaving it. Flowers have a nice, lovely, sweet, honey-like smell. And this is only fruited, it's a seedling, maybe close to 10 years old, and it's only fruited maybe for the past 3 years. But and the fruit isn't incredible, but it's alright. Bit of a novelty, bit tart. All the loquat seedlings are from this tree, so they'll be well adapted to the climate. Bunch of cardamom here. It's growing, a lot now with all the rain, but never flowers here. It's too cold, I guess. Not the right climate, but it grows well. Supposedly was meant to be a white mulberry, but fruit is not white, it's red. But apparently that can be the case. Anyway, it makes nice mulberries, and got 1 or 2 cuttings of this. which I'm growing out as well. But curry tree, some other stuff. Peach tree, which doesn't fruit well. Another guava, large one. It's a pink guava. Sort of more crunchy, which is what I like. But yeah, this fruit's shaping up. Already had like 2 fruit actually that dropped off. They are starting to soften. It's had the most fruit that it's ever had this year, maybe around 50 fruit. Yeah, it's absolutely loaded. Oh, look at that. That's a big one. Probably got fruit fly. We haven't protected them. But some of them surprisingly don't get affected. It's only some of them, and yeah. Anyway, lemonade tree in there. I do love a lemonade. It's nice. It's like a lemon that you can easily eat out of hand. Although I like sour stuff so much, I can eat a lemon out of hand as well. But it's nice. Some apple trees. Golden Delicious and Granny Smith have never fruited. Or maybe, yeah, one time we got a tiny little fruit that was not any good. Big, maybe the 20-year-old Tahitian lime tree. Got a couple limes on that. It got attacked real bad by the stink bugs this year. Some figs, they don't fruit well either, but these are from random cuttings. Avocado seedling, which fruits. The fruit is relatively small and not very good, so did not win the genetic lottery on this one, but it's nice. It's nice enough. As you can see, all the stuff under there is unshaded by this massive jacaranda tree. Oh, I forgot to mention, we've got bananas back there, a ladyfinger. We've had 2 bunches from it this summer, but they're full size, so they get massive now, like 5 meters tall, and it's just not that practical anymore. Anyway, it's the guava again. It's growing like mad. But yeah, that's a sort of tour of everything I got growing, everything I've got over the summer, at the end of summer. Probably provide an update, maybe getting into autumn, maybe show something I'm doing with the cold protection or some of the results of the seeds I'm trying to grow. But otherwise, that's all for now. See you in the next one.